Welcome, everybody. You're listening to Less Than or Sequel to, the movie about the movie about podcasts.
Yeah,
the podcast about sequels.
Action-packed movie.
Yeah, and as you can hear, we're doing both Matrix sequels. You're getting a double-hander right now, and we're gonna be going over Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolutions. I keep wanting to call it Revelations. Like it's the last book of the Bible.
They did a really shitty job naming these because it's like, all right, well, just throw out 2 R words. I can't keep it straight. Which
Matrix
one is
retarded.
Which. Yeah.
So we have. Speaking of retarded, we have with us today. I'm Kevin. Last name is Hardison.
D as in David.
If you're HARD as in David. If you're hard. If you're hard,
son,
come see me. So with me, as always, as I'm sure by this point you've listened to all the other 2 things that we've posted, we have Christopher Brewer as well.
Hello.
And also we have Big Game, Big Daddy, James Kane.
That's correct, yeah.
Goes by Jim.
Either way.
I don't think I can call you Jim. But in any case, so we're talking about the Matrix sequels, and
these movies are barf.
Oh, they're so boring.
Rugged. If you ever get the chance to watch them all back to back, in one sitting, I suggest you not do that.
Yeah. If you ever get the chance to watch them all in a row, go do something else.
Yeah.
Well, after you watch the first one, because that movie is great.
Well, the first one it might be the most important sci-fi movie from like the last 20 years.
Yeah,
most influential, maybe.
Right. Yeah, not the concepts, but the direction and effects.
I did forget about a lot of the stuff that it introduced.
Leather jackets.
The
really cool looking trench coats that still look cool even now.
Which was out first, this or Matrix or Blade? Because they were the same year.
Matrix came out in 99. Blade came out in 98.
Oh, so Blade, he's the one. I bet they had to go back and rewrite Matrix. I'm like, we got to add these trench coats.
Well, it's just like everything else where black people start it and then white people pick it up, and then everybody remembers when the white people started doing it.
So Keanu's the Elvis of trench coats.
Yes. So the first one, and James...
But you have like the red pill, that's still a...
Red pill, blue pill.
That's a kind of a cultural reference at this point.
That's right.
Yeah, you have stupid bullet time.
Yeah. At the time, though, bullet time was
amazing. It exploded.
Amazing.
For the next 5 years, it was everywhere.
It was everywhere. Exploded.
Yeah, it did.
But,
yeah, that's about it.
You know what you
take those 2 things.
Speaking of explosive, boy, that was...
We're starting off with a bang.
Whoa. Well, the first Matrix, I didn't watch it. I just focused on the sequels, but I know...
Wait, you've never seen the first Matrix movie?
No, I have. I just didn't watch it in preparation for this.
Yeah, you're lucky.
I didn't watch it recently either, but I know that it is awesome. I've seen it.
If you watch it through the kaleidoscope of the past 15 years, it looks like it's shit. It's not a fun movie to watch.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
I've seen it on
cable. It squanders like the good things it does have. You remember Joey Pants? Joey Pants. He's great, and they underutilize him.
Can you say
that's true?
You have to stop. Say the last name.
Is it Pantoliano?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're good. Don't second guess yourself.
Like I can usually say the words that are kind of hesitating, but I don't want to.
Pantoliano.
Like if I use it in a sentence.
Like if I go out to eat and the sandwich is on a ciabatta roll, I don't like to say the word ciabatta to the waiter.
I agree.
I want the turkey.
Understand that.
Can I get that on Chewbacca roll, please?
Yeah.
I do like to avoid anything that might be difficult or embarrassing to pronounce.
I actually went to...
Especially at like an Italian place, because you never know if they're like a Giada ass hat and like, oh, you want the spaghetti?
Spaghetti. What are you doing spaghetti?
I actually YouTube Merovingian because I didn't believe that was the way you're supposed to say it.
That's how you say it.
I think that's how you say it.
Because I'm like, well, he's French, and the French are a-holes, and they always pronounce things weird. So
Merovignon.
But it's all. It's
I'm like, I know it sounds.
But it's all like Celtic French. So
yeah,
the Merovignon.
Yeah, so it looks like it should be, a real pinky up wine name. You know, like, oh, you want some Cabernet? You want some Merovignon?
So obviously there's 2 Matrix sequels. There's Reloaded and Revolutions.
Are there 2?
They shot them concurrently.
They're number 2.
It's a dope.
Poop.
It's
I see really Matrix Reloaded. That's the second one, right?
Reloaded is second
so,
one.
Okay,
yeah.
so
Like,
that's the end. The Matrix Reloaded is the end, and then Revolutions is like a really boring epilogue that you could just not read.
Revolutions is a really good title.
If it was a book, you could just it would just be like epilogue. No one gives a shit.
Revolutions is a perfect title for it because all it does is spin around in a fucking circle for 2.5 hours. Whoa, good setup.
It goes nowhere.
Hey, it's a 360.
Yeah, so I mean, with the second one...
Did you print out notes?
I printed out my notes at work, yeah. There's a lot of bullet points on here.
Oh, man, I'm going to tell Tommy Watts about that.
You should shut your goddamn mouth.
Oh, you're fired.
Squandering
I
resources.
did it on my way out, though.
Yeah.
I can pay for the paper.
Yeah. That's what they're going to be saying.
And the ink.
Get out of here. You're out.
my
Clean
boss,
out your desk.
My boss is an umpire
Yeah.
from the 30s.
Yeah, so the first movie
You
sets
just
up...
hear that once a week. You hear in the background.
You're out of here.
People don't last long at my work. You get 3 strikes and you're out of here. So, first off, I just have to ask. This is a Matrix question, not necessarily inherent to either movie, but if you have sex in the Matrix, do you jizz in that chair or the pod that you're in?
Like a wet dream?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like because if you get shot, you spit blood.
Yeah, I
so
guess
if you're
you must.
if you're getting it on, like if you're because people are boning in the Matrix all the time,
Sure.
and
So they're just maybe that's when he wakes up in the pod full of goo.
that's just
That pod was empty when
It
he
was
put
empty,
in there.
yeah.
he filled it up between years 12 and 13.
Yeah, originally they're just like baby incubators. They have a heat lamp. It's like slightly warm, and then they just fill it up.
Probably, that's my guess.
They had to write a program around it.
I apologize for getting back to the movie, but what struck me so is like what they're doing in the final two is so different from the first movie.
You mean
There's-
shitty?
Yeah,
Yeah.
shittier. Like the first movie, God damn, I don't even know where to start. They talk about Zion a lot, and the second movie, the last two, they're set there the whole time. It's like, why didn't you introduce us in the first one? I really just want to leave some mystery and stuff, but the first one's set mostly in the Matrix, where you can do cool things. The others are set
in the real world where nothing really happens.
Yeah, and it's boring.
Well, what got me about it, and I actually, so much so that it's this like one of the first notes I wrote, which is the first movie works well because it's like a Joseph Campbell hero story, like it's the hero's journey. You got a guy, he's just a run-of-the-mill regular dude, and all of a sudden he gets the magic powers and all that stuff,
Right, he is someone that the audience can relate with.
Yeah, you're experiencing the movie as Neo. He's the guy that you're, as the audience member, you're glommed onto him, and you're experiencing his journey, and so you kind of feel like a connection with him. In the next two movies, like that journey's done. He's already learned everything.
Yep.
And, all the exposition that was necessary in the first movie to explain to Neo so that you know what's going on, they don't really need to do that, and they don't really do that anymore.
Yeah.
They just talk about things.
Like, hey, viewer, you're Jesus now.
You've already gone through the resurrection. You're back. This is what happens after Revelations in the Bible.
Yep.
It turns into Matrix Reloaded.
Yeah, the first one was like, this is a regular guy, or he's sort of regular. He's like the 90s bullshit, cool
He's a
story
Jet
regular
Slacker
guy.
Gen X type guy.
Right, that doesn't really
You
exist.
gotta get to your work on time.
Get to work. Oh, but I'm such a badass programmer. I don't
want to go to work anymore.
My
tie's not done up right.
rave scene. And then anyway, he. So it's
That
like,
was
hey,
the best
audience,
part of the movie.
what it would be like if you became like a super badass. So that's what the first movie
You'd
was.
become a
And it was cool. You would become a Dracula. That's great.
So,
And then, so at the end, he goes, he's on the phone and he's like, I'm going to fuck your shit up, you assholes, because it's go time. And then the second movie does not deliver on the end of the first movie at all. And then in the second and third movies, he's almost completely indestructible, so you're never worried about him at all.
he flies like Superman.
and if like
He flies exactly like Superman, even does
They
that
even
like
mention
trailing shit behind him.
yeah, and yeah. operator, Link, calls him, he's doing his Superman thing.
Yeah, because he is.
Yeah.
That's why Superman sucks,
The
because
movie-
he's just indestructible.
Yeah, the movie largely becomes not about Neo after the first one.
Yeah, and then it becomes
he's
about
boring to
nothing.
watch. It's about Kid. It's
It's not about
Morpheus.
Neo!
Yeah.
It becomes about real life Agent Smith guy that they don't really mention a whole lot until the very end.
Brain?
Brain?
Hello, Mr. Anderson. You and I are very similar.
You adopted the Matrix.
I was born in it.
Well,
Blinding.
The League of Shadows. But he... what the fuck? So, here's another question I have is, in early on in this movie, too, all the captains are in the Matrix, all talking together.
Useless meeting.
And then, useless meetings, and then they always get interrupted by fucking agents every single time. But we've established that there are fake matrices that people can get plugged into. Why don't they have their fucking
there's
meetings in the
training
fake
room matrix.
matrices?
Right. Or why don't they just... well, they meet to tell each other that they need to meet at their agreed meeting point.
Why are they going into the fucking
Why
matrix
are
in the
they
first
doing
place?
that?
Why are they even going back in? Once they're out, why do they go back
Why
in?
did they just go to the place that they agreed to meet?
Over the course of these
Okay,
movies...
maybe we should actually set
Yeah.
up how this movie
Over
begins.
the course of these movies, you have the enemies are the agents, Agent Smith in particular, the Merovingian, the Architect,
I guess.
and fucking Logic is the biggest
Logic
one.
is the biggest villain in this movie.
I don't know why.
I will say I do like Agent Smith, and I like the character arc of Agent
You
Smith.
like me, Christopher. He only speaks 3 syllables at a time.
He does, I know, but I like that he's like a computer program that's becoming self-aware, and he becomes, after the first movie, in the second and third, he becomes the most interesting. Like, he's got the arc. And then,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and he's extremely interesting. Like, I would rather he become the hero of the movie, and you just watch him.
Do not play footsie with me.
So anyway, this movie begins with the Matrix Code, and the score has gotten, at this point, much shittier than in the first movie.
Yep. Answer me this: why can Agent Smith? Why is he back? And why can he replicate himself?
I don't know.
Me.
Right?
But I actually like that he is part of this movie that I like, and the third one,
You know why?
I can't explain why he's back.
You know why
he
he's
gets
back?
exploded.
Because the Wachowski brothers are not good at doing
Oh,
movies, and they said, "Well, we can't come up with another good villain. Let's bring Agent Smith back."
You know what? I
That's
think
what I feel like it is.
But I'm going to dig in on this position of really liking Agent Smith, and I understand why you wouldn't. But
I like him. I just don't know why he's back.
I don't like the story they gave him, I guess. I mean, Hugo Weaving shows up and does work with what he's given.
Yeah.
it's not. I'm not even talking about Hugo Weaving. Like, I like the arc of Agent Smith. I think that that could have been the entire thing could have been one movie and it would have been great. But then, they should have just shifted focus completely. Like, just have kept Zion as this mysterious thing, and they could have had Neo as a secondary character and had Agent Smith as the main character. And they could even Agent Smith could have been the actual impetus for change in the Matrix.
Are you in love with Agent Smith?
It's what I wish that movie would have been. Like, at the time, I knew it was just disappointing, but if they had just shifted main characters to Agent Smith as like a computer program that becomes self-aware and wants to take down the Matrix for his own reasons, that would be pretty amazing.
I mean,
but instead they made him a completely weak and useless villain.
yeah.
Well, every time he shows up, it's like there's all these things going on with the Zion and everything else. But every time Agent Smith shows up, it has almost nothing to do with anything else that's going on in the larger plot of the movie. It's just, by the way, here's some dope ass Agent Smith scenes where he replicates himself, and then he has a multiple man fight with Neo.
I think that actually works on like a meta sort of level.
Ah, okay, whatever.
Well, I just
Because that's what his character is also.
James is trying to
It's
talk.
like him
James
in
is
the
fine,
Matrix
it's fine.
is like him in the movies.
Hey, James is trying to get a point in.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I did want to mention something about how you said the Wachowski siblings,
The siblings.
the
Officially
artists
siblings.
formerly known as brothers. Yeah, how they didn't know what to do, so they just brought Agent Smith back. I wrote in my notes, so you have Bane. He's new Cypher. He's basically an updated version of Joe Pants.
He looks like him, kind of.
Except he's in it even less.
Yeah.
And he's doing a crazy...
And then Kid is, I don't remember his name, but there's the kid. I just
worm.
wrote New Wiener.
Well, he was from the Animatrix.
Shut up about the Animatrix.
Yeah.
Oh, this is twice now. I've been shot
We're not talking about this. Isn't.
But
This
you
is
know,
the Matrix
like
sequels, not the Animatrix.
The creepy digital pimp from the first one.
Yeah.
Hey, you like that girl in the red dress?
Yeah, I designed her.
Yeah, you wanna I'll load you up and you can bang and we'll watch you on the monitors banging.
I'll load you up and you can unload.
Yeah.
Matrix Unloaded. We were talking about porn titles. That's what it is. There you go.
Maze Tricks Unloaded.
But
Okay, so the first scene.
oh well,
It's what I think was a totally unnecessary Zion animation.
all right.
It's like, let's just blow a wad of cash already.
Well,
like,
the first is when Trinity falls out the
and-
window.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Why do they have ships? Why do they have to go anywhere? I can get internet anywhere.
That's true. They have to go up to the surface
I can
to
understand
connect.
needing some ships like for physically doing things, but like to free people from the Matrix now and then. But I think they leave Zion, and I couldn't really discern a reason why.
They have to go to like login depth or whatever.
They leave so that later on, when they shut everything down,
Bullshit.
it's tough for them to get back.
So how do the
You
squid
got to unplug
robots
and replug
work?
the router, and yeah.
So how do the squid robots work when they're in Zion if they're outside of the network
They
range?
have more bandwidth.
They can't get Wi-Fi down in Zion.
The Zionites are on Boost Mobile. That's why. Yeah.
They need to, they put in a couple of. They must like be installing airport expresses as they
Zion,
go.
well, it was 99, so Zion's probably still on dial-up. Whereas,
that's true.
The other ones have cable broadband internet. But I also I was taken aback because I know we've all watched Gotham. Fish Mooney's in this movie.
Oh, hey, Morpheus. Would you like a little love triangle? Oh.
But I was.
Jada, you here?
She has awesome sunglasses though.
She does have awesome.
Everyone has awesome
Yeah.
sunglasses in the Matrix.
But I was really. It was
Even
tough.
underground where there's no sun.
It was tough
Yeah.
to watch it because I was like, "What the hell? She's aged considerably." It's and that's like, what happened? Scientology happened.
That's
You like
the,
boys or you like girls,
you like
Morpheus?
boys?
That's
like
the
girls.
Fox gritty look where it's basically like
Make you look like shit.
the normal. They fire the normal like wedding videographer that they hire to run all their other shows, and for the gritty ones, they just give that person an 8mm and they have them run it.
Fox saves on
Stop talking about film grade, all right?
Fox saves money on their shows by letting you do your own makeup. Just come as you are.
And it's filmed entirely with iPhone cameras as selfies.
And then pretty soon we're in the rave.
Oh yeah.
Like, and which
Well,
they...
Neo and Trinity really want to nail.
Oh, yeah. They're like high
So
schoolers.
They're trying to
It's
fuck in the
terrible.
elevator
Yeah.
when they're going up, and it stops.
So why can't they do it in the ship?
They're back home. It's safe.
Well, I know,
think
but they
do
wanted to do it in the ship.
But they're
So
just
why
like,
are they so itching to do it?
fuck in every room.
Don't you know, like it's,
ship?
you know,
Right at Morpheus's desk.
Yeah.
I rubbed his pince-nez sunglasses on my date.
yeah. Morpheus's dress robes. First off, why do they have dress clothes?
Hey, Morpheus. Belly's out.
He does. Morpheus has these dress robes that it's basically like two drapes on either side of him, and he's like your picture window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he gives a rousing speech where he gives
Tonight,
It's exactly-
let us rave.
It's exactly like the Warriors.
Well, it's like he is like the guy from the war. Or it sounds like he sounds like almost like Viggo Mortensen in Lord of the Rings when all of a sudden he's no, we will never surrender, and everyone goes bonkers.
Let us rave. Viggo.
That's a good Viggo.
Viggo. I'm Viggo Mortensen.
King of fairies.
Where's the music for that fucking rave coming from, by the way?
They have mad speed.
From the drums.
Chris, did you do the sound there?
I did, yeah.
Did you just sound at Zion?
Professionally, I did it, yeah. That was me.
Well, I wrote down if you've, I think you've watched Saturday Night Live when they do the Stefan bits. Mm-hmm. This is like all the clubs Stefan describes.
New York's hottest club is Zion.
Yeah.
They do it.
In a cave near the core of the earth, you'll find
So what's with that? Like, why are they trying to echo that scene from the first movie?
You mean like when they go into the
scene? And also, no one throughout the history of time has ever listened to Rob Zombie in a dance club. Never happened.
Really? Not even Europe?
Not even Europe, especially
Beg
Europe.
to differ. They're playing it down at Platinum all the time, bud.
I don't know if I'd call that a dance club.
Did they film and screen the rave in real time? Because it takes forever.
Well,
It does take a really
it's on there
long time.
for 15 minutes.
Yeah, they were checking out the dailies while it was still going.
Yeah.
well, the entire time that
It's
the
like, look
rave's
at-
going on, that's when the fucking's happening.
Right, they keep intercutting with it, yeah.
I think
Intercutting the intercourse.
The Wachowskis just brought in all right, bring in like a lineup of extras. All right, pull your shirts up. We want to look at your bellies. Oh, those are good bellies. Because you don't see anyone's like face in the rave.
Right. It's only 2000. The 90s are
shot
still
from
here.
neck
We need to
down.
see bellies.
Yeah.
Navel time.
Even a few tummies.
Everybody knows that Trinity and Neo are they just want to fuck so bad.
Yeah.
Because at some point, someone says, like, I wrote, quote, those two got things to do.
Yeah.
And then, ... like, fucking.
And then we see their scene, and Neo has this little vision, and I wrote,
Total, like, PG-13. sex
Neo
scene.
comes death. Because like after he finishes... Did you know when he does?
Oh, he's imagining
He
he's
just says like, "Ugh," and he sees like Trinity getting shot up. Yeah,
Yeah. So is that like thinking about baseball?
Just think about
Just
the person having
imagine
sex
his
with dying.
I don't know.
His
I think
partner
that
being shot?
gives him more pleasure because it happens at the end. He's like,
Are you saying that he can't?
oh, dead Trinity.
Okay, James is saying that Neo cannot climax without imagining his partner being killed.
Yeah,
Falling from... Because when she...
he's like a mantis.
But when she falls from that thing too, they also show her hit the car. It
Yep.
folds in fucking half.
Which is fucking badass.
It is
That is
badass.
a cool scene. The car just going...
And then, Neo bones Trinity to sleep, and he takes a romantic walk with an older gentleman.
That's true, yes.
Hey, before we get to the old man long walk on the beach, I also wrote, I like seeing them with all their plugs, and then I actually typed LOL.
Speaking of that, like,
I'm gonna boot you up.
wouldn't it be like, wouldn't they just like plug into the Matrix or the fake Matrix thing? Shouldn't they have like sex programs? Wouldn't that be the first
Like
thing
Demolition
that
Man?
somebody would make?
Like like Demolition Man.
That's why.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I mean, anytime there's a new format, it always like whatever supports or whatever porn
It's
supports.
the porn
wins.
is the first.
It's
yeah.
like straight out of Tropic Thunder, like HD DVD or Blu-ray.
I mean, it's just beyond sexting. You know, you just plug in, you put that like 4-inch spike in the base of your skull or whatever, and then anyone you want.
spike something else
And exactly, you put the 4-inch spike in something
with your
else.
spike wiener. Yeah.
Just 4 inches, huh?
It's the Matrix. You can do whatever you want.
At some point, and because I started going scene by scene, and then I stopped paying attention when this got really boring, which was about after 20 minutes.
I was paying attention through the whole second one.
At
Which
some point,
wasn't totally terrible.
it's not bad. It's not that bad, but at some point, Agent Smith uploads into a dude who gets pulled out of the Matrix.
Oh, this is this like is underexplained.
And that brings Agent Smith into the real world, into a guy who, oddly enough, who looks
Which
exactly like Agent Smith.
They cast him because they saw him do a
not-
Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it raises the question, like when, like in the first movie, when they would like the first person would answer the phone and they'd get sucked out. If they did that in the wrong order, would they get put back into the wrong body?
They do like a Freaky Friday situation.
Exactly.
I
Jamie
thought-
Lee Curtis
yeah.
is out there.
I thought that
Pooping
was.
all over the place with her Activia.
That's right.
I mean, I thought that was kind of a neat
don't have that in
concept. Yeah, I thought that was kind of a neat concept of it's all just data. Like you can load it.
Yeah, which is-
wherever.
it
But
is
they
a really cool
They never
concept.
say anything. They never explore it.
But yeah, explain it
never
a little.
gets. Yeah, I mean to have vice versa. What if you have? It would have been cool to then have a human. Like all right, well, just upload me forever because I'll be.
Right. Or couldn't somebody like infiltrate the agent so that they could jump around and put somebody in an agent or something?
Yeah. Well, then we have, and it's all part of the stupid, vague philosophy about machines, which the old dude talks about. I don't know why they do it. I just know they work, and
I know what they
what's
do.
different between these machines and that machine.
Yeah, that's the entire explanation.
Okay, well, this is
just machines are evil.
well, this machine recycles your water and doesn't have a machine gun built into it. You dipshit.
Yep.
Well,
We made these
This one's a
aliens
Keurig, not a
robots.
tank. Yeah.
that's when he takes it because this guy gets off by walking down to engineering level. I love going down to engineering levels.
I love having a nice young man on my
yeah.
arm. And
Neo, you're so strapping and your features are so sharp.
He's the Wesley Crusher of Zion.
Well, how did they build all that shit? How'd they build all those giant fucking machines? Is it already there? Because they had to go down into the Earth's crust to
Right.
get away from the machines, and then they built these giant fucking machines with huge parts.
Yep.
like, is this all just scavenged from previous generations? And
That's what I was wondering. Is it?
I feel like,
Why would it be there?
aside from being able to see the Matrix, probably the whole world is functionally illiterate. Because there's no real history anymore. Just write something down. This has happened before. You're going to find out it's happened 6 times before.
Right. Nobody left anything behind.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And when he's talking to the
Pile
chancellor,
of garbage.
the chancellor or whatever his name is, they have a little philosophical conversation, and then Neo goes, "So is that your point?" And he goes, "No point," which
Yeah.
pretty much sums up the entire movie.
Yeah, that's right.
They sound like fucking 8th graders.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's like a high school philosophical.
Oh,
debate.
so then we
happen because they happen, and machines.
there's a fight. Okay, so the next thing is a fight with some agents, and I guess
No, before that, he sees the Oracle.
does he see? No, wait, he has the fight with the agents first,
No, I felt like sitting down.
where he gets the envelope
And
with
then the
the
agents-
earpiece in it.
That's at the very beginning when Agent Smith is taunting him.
Oh, okay. So, well, let's talk about that for a second.
Because then he goes, "Did you get my package?"
I'm
and he grabs his
unplugged.
crotch.
Then doesn't he have? He has like a exchange with the lesser agents.
Did you
And
play
then he
with
says,
my package?
he says he like fights, and then the guy blocks his punch, and he says upgrades, and I think that's supposed to write off like Neo being completely all powerful at the end of the first movie. It's like, oh well, apparently the Matrix was holding back a little programming for their agents.
Why didn't he
They
just
didn't,
jump?
for some reason, make them as powerful as they could be. They were holding back a little just in
Yeah.
case one would come out.
Why doesn't he just jump into them like he did Agent Smith and blow them up?
Yeah, apparently, you can't do that. That's the upgrades.
Oh,
The upgrades.
All right.
I just did air quotes on upgrades.
I don't know why, but for the Oracle, did she remind you of like the maid from Billy Madison at all? Like the way she looks at Neo, I kept expecting you to go, "Fine piece of work, fine piece of ass too." Like,
she definitely.
she's kind of into him.
She is attractive.
and I'm
She
not
really
against
likes,
it.
She really likes Neo.
And I wrote down, which is I think it's pretty damning of the whole thing. Just anytime 2 characters are talking and trying to philosophize, like, did Jaden Smith co-write this with Yogi Berra? It's really bad.
This also sums it up when they talk to the Oracle. Read my note here at the bottom.
So much fucking babbling. Yeah.
Everything is just, it's like
I didn't
babble speak.
believe. I
It's
hoped.
all exposition dialogue. It's
Maybe you knew I was going to do that, maybe you didn't. If you didn't know, then you're not the Oracle. But if you did, why did you make those cookies and put them there on the ground? If you did, that means you did it for a purpose. And I'm like, oh my God, stop fucking questioning yourself like ad infinitum going around up your own asshole.
and she's
this whole
like,
movie.
"Oh, sorry, it's always bad news or whatever." It's
And
like,
I got really down and out while watching this. Like at one point I said, what if there is no purpose? The universe is unaware and indifferent to us.
maybe that's the
And
ultimate
this is
point.
all suffering we've brought upon ourselves and it's pointless.
It's a,
I like he's reading his notes right now.
Yeah.
it's a shorter movie. Hey, you know what?
This movie will make you a nihilist.
It caused
Yeah.
you to have some thoughts. This movie made you think. It did what it's supposed to do.
When Neo's fighting the Smith crew and he takes one and throws it into the crowd. Did you hear the bowling pin?
Yes, I
sound
did. I wrote it
effects?
down.
Yep.
I said,
Too.
I wrote, some Smiths float fly away looks hella lame.
Yeah.
Because they'll hit something, they just
Yeah.
gotta go, wee, wee, wee.
Oh, the CG is so bad.
It's really, and like when he's hitting them like a baseball, when he's when he's
Yeah.
got the post out.
Even at the time, it looked bad. I remember thinking
it
that it
sounds
looked bad.
Yeah.
I said, I also wrote, video game cutscene with that pipe. It looks like
It
like
was
a video.
worse than
Yeah.
a video game.
A video game of the time is what it looks like. It looks like a PS2 cutscene.
Well, I know I'm going to get some shit for it, but
Looks like a PS1.
the Animatrix
God damn you with the fucking Animatrix.
Okay, the Animatrix was pretty stupid, and it was like a bunch of CG Matrix-related things. And the CG in that thing that was a cartoon looked way better than the CG that was in the movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That scene...
Because people from the movie, like people from the Animatrix that ended up in the second movie, were recognizable as those people.
Oh, really?
You'd say, oh, well, that's like the kid was from the Animatrix, and you saw him in the movie, and you're like, oh, that's that guy. But Neo in the Agent Smith fight, when there was a million Agent Smiths,
is unrecognizable.
Does not look like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
He looks like they were going to render more like.
And it's weird. Like at one point, he's swinging around the thing, and his mouth opens. Like he goes slow mo, and his mouth opens, and it's like his skin is 2-dimensional. Like there's no depth to it. Like it opens.
I know exactly what you're talking
And
about.
it's just like he's a hollow shell.
He looks like a blow-up doll.
There's just a texture on the outside. It's not even like a blow-up doll. It's just like he's got a texture on the outside and then just nothingness on the inside. His mouth opens and it's just it's nothing. He's got no lips on the inside.
It's just like it's real Keanu Reeves. There's nothing on the inside.
It's like just like a paper mache.
Yeah, like they rendered form but not volume. It's,
right.
Yeah.
And he opens his mouth and it's just a hole. It's like he's a balloon and a hole opens up. That's what it looks like. The Neo balloon.
Well, and then for some reason...
Neo Thanksgiving Day parade float.
Yeah. And then for some reason Morpheus is in trouble, so we go to the Coruscant Senate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Like, all right, a bunch of losers. Where are they getting all these really fancy clothes?
They've got they're all dressed up like African princes.
Where are they growing cotton?
It looks like Coming to America.
Shouldn't they all be in like polyester?
They should all be wearing like fucking nothing because they don't have shit. What are they growing in the Earth's core?
It's just like fucking Tupperware armor or something. just stuff made from garbage.
I just a rock and some string to cover up my dong. But I know I thought that was kind of weird. Also, why do some people have hacker names and some people have normal names? Like some people
Who has a normal name in this movie?
Some people it's like there's Link's wife
Niobe?
is Z.
Link and Zelda.
Is it Zelda?
They just call her Z, but that's what I'm thinking.
Oh my god.
Is it Zelda?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, guys.
That just made me like this whole movie a little bit more if it's actually Zelda.
Oh, that's another wasted actor.
Who?
Marvin Gaye's daughter.
No, you're talking about Link? Michael from Lost?
No.
Oh.
What's her name? Gina Torres?
Yep.
Yep.
From
Role Models.
Firefly?
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
She's totally wasted. She's not in it enough.
Well, and then and then Zelda, or Z, is Marvin Gaye's daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You live with your grandfather?
I don't know. Probably.
Then they go on to meet the Merovingian, because I got to try to figure out the way to get the Keymaster.
I like this part.
I do too.
Neo is an old program, the Merovingian.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe.
So there's a cake-gasm?
French are the worst. Yeah, did he roofie her dessert? And then you go
he
into
must have roofied the cake.
And then you go into Matrix Vision, where you like go under the table and see her open her legs.
Right.
And I just wrote basicinstinct.exe. That must be the program name. Yeah.
I didn't realize at first that it was a cake, and I wrote, he coded a pie for her pie.
Nice.
You know, I think it kind of pulled its punches a little bit there in the Matrix code, because it went in like. It was pretty graphic until it was in there, and then it was just like a blank.
She shot a beam of light from her vagina.
Yeah. But that scene did have the guy who played the Merovingian. He's very good.
Mm-hmm. He should be. They shouldn't have had Agent Smith in this movie at all. He should have been the big bad guy.
French Christoph Waltz.
He is. Monica Bellucci.
Yes,
she's good. She's good.
She was a great actress in this movie, I thought.
It was like she was wasted because the stupid scene where like, give me a kiss.
Give me a kiss.
I'm a computer program, but I really want a kiss from
you.
Neo.
I know about what love is like.
Oh, I'm going to take my sunglasses off because I'm really serious.
This time I'll try.
When the Merovingian goes to leave and he's goes, I need to take a piece. And I'm like, take a piece of what?
I had too much wine. I had to take a piece.
I like the Merovingian though. He was cool. Underused.
I thought, because again, he should be the bad guy.
I am glad that he came back in the second one, even briefly.
The second sequel, the third one.
Yeah,
the second sequel,
in the third one. Because there was some continuity between the final two movies. Because there's almost no continuity between the first one and the second two.
No.
They feel completely different. Yeah.
I really liked something that I did like about this movie was the whole concept that monsters and ghosts are rogue programs or like older versions of programs from like prior Matrixes.
Yeah, that was cool.
So like the ghost twins I thought that was super cool. Like that's
the
another
albino Jonathan Davisons.
Yeah.
Yes.
They are albino Jonathan. Did you write that down?
Oh yeah.
Sorry, that one got me.
And then, so that's I thought that was a really cool concept. Again, never explored further.
No, well, and she comes in with the silver bullet gun, and I think they're supposed to be vampires or werewolves
or some.
Well,
they're watching
they're
like
monsters.
a vampire movie.
Yeah, so
they're monsters because they're rogue programs. So, boom.
Yeah.
Why not have more of that?
And then
That would have been great.
yeah. Then there's a big fight. And I had
I like that
total Raphael because he takes the size.
He does get the size, and he
was
fucks you
all
up.
right, I'll give you some points for that.
You know, it's weird because all the Neo stuff, the martial arts stuff, and all the fights that he's in is strangely slow.
I said that to my wife. I was like, if you play this at 2x speed, it would look good.
Yeah, like they should have like a kung fu movie. They would have sped it up.
Yeah.
They would have done it that, and then they would have sped it up like 50% or 100%, and it would just been really cool looking.
I mean, I don't know kung fu. I've never been in a fight like that. But
I don't
looking
personally know kung fu either.
Neo does.
At most other movies, like they appear to be going a little bit faster.
Yes, and it just in this movie, it made all the fights so boring
Yeah.
because everything was so slow, and it was like,
I kind of like the fights.
Okay.
I thought that
the straight up fights.
I kind of like them.
Where he was just like, somebody would be like, I'm going to punch you. And then I'm doing a slow motion punch.
And they look.
And then Neo would slow motion block them, except it wasn't supposed to be slow motion.
And they look so. I mean, they are. Any movie fights choreographed.
Right.
But
They looked really
It looks
choreographed.
like it looks like okay, this is a movement from Swan Lake. It's not a
Right.
fight.
Like if somebody
they
was
look
really
very dancery and they pose off a lot.
If somebody was really trying to kill Neo in these parts, there were so many openings where he was slowly blocking somebody else. Somebody could just stab him in the face.
Well, I think the reason I kind of like them is because they're the ones where there aren't CGI, where it was just people like the wire foo stuff.
Some of them are pretty, like.
Yeah, I mean it's entertaining.
Graceful
It's visually
fighting.
it's visually engaging, which is better than every time anybody talks.
Oh yes.
So at the very least, I think in watching this movie comparative to every time anything else happens, the actual hand-to-hand fighting is a lot better.
So I do like the fight, even though it's a little too slow in the foyer when he uses the force and gets the size.
Yeah,
And I like the car chase.
why doesn't he use the force more often? He does it once.
There's a lot of stupid. I'll say that I like this.
He'll
Like the
push
car
things
chase
away
there's a
all
lot
the time, but he never like
grabs stuff. Yeah.
the car scene.
There's a lot of stupid shit in that scene, but it's also pretty awesome.
The car scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the ghosts
yeah.
materializing, like going to mist and then materializing in the seat and stuff. I think that's really cool.
Again, that's all practical effects too. They built that whole stretch. They drove real
They
cars.
really drove the thing. They had Carrie Ann Moss really ride the motorcycle through there.
So it looks good.
It does. Although if you watch it, you can see like behind the car chase, there's no traffic whatsoever. It's only plot related traffic that's in there.
Yeah, no, I did note that, and I thought that looked good. So I want to give it points there, except for when they're fighting on top of the tractor trailer.
Yeah,
and I just wrote like tractor trailer Mortal Kombat stage because at one point it really pans out, and it's a straight up
just
like
profile
animated,
shot.
like
Yeah.
it looked like people in front of like a movie screen, not even like a green screen. I had a question.
So then, Neo saves the Keymaster or whatever his name is.
Before we get to
he
that,
saves
though.
Louis Tully and Morpheus by flying super fucking fast
Well,
from
that-
like Tibet.
I have to ask you guys a question because maybe I'm stupid. When Neo busts through that door and he's in like the mountains of Tibet,
Right, because the key changed the
but
location.
Link says he's 500 miles north in the mountains. So he's 500 miles north of like Los Angeles. So he's somewhere in like California. that looks exactly like fucking Nepal.
Yeah. He's in like a Tibetan monastery, and he goes out.
He's literally in the middle of like a gigantic mountain, snowy mountain range. Where the fuck is he?
I suppose.
Well, all those Chinese immigrants, they built a little Tibet up there.
Oh, you forgot about Little Tibet.
Well, those mountains, they must have. They built the hills of San Francisco.
They had them imported
in Little Tibet.
So we can imagine that he's not in Los Angeles. Say like they're in. Okay, what city would make sense? It's snowy mountains to the north.
They're up in Big Sur.
Boston.
Yeah. They're in Miami.
Yeah, he's in the White Mountains of New Hampshire.
Yeah. And just to go back to the real quick, when they're on the Mortal Kombat tractor trailer fight, and Morpheus reaches down and grabs his
stabby sword, which he was standing on 6 feet down.
He comes back around with the duckiest of duck faces that I've ever seen. Just look at his lips; they just disappeared.
Well, that's the one where he goes and he stabs it, and then he gets down, and he's
standing on it.
It's 6 feet down, and then he reaches down again to grab it to cut the agent.
Yeah.
My arm span's not as long as my legs, guys. Like I don't know where.
Either.
I also want to remind you that this movie does illustrate that seatbelts do save lives, because when that ghost shows up in the back seat, Morpheus wraps his arm up in a seatbelt, and he can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's the scene between that. It's like 2 minutes pass between when the ghost is in there and when the agent rips the roof off that car.
Yeah.
Why hasn't he fucking killed everyone in that car yet? Those ghosts are huge badasses, and he's still in there just chilling in the back seat like he's going to fucking Funtown or something. And he's just like carpooling with them instead of murdering them.
Yeah.
Well, and then they are huge badasses, and then they get blown up, but they turn to ghosts at the top of like the smoke plume,
and then they come back,
and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't keep going.
Maybe not.
And
They just like, oh fuck this.
I mean, they didn't. And I mean, if they went ghost, it would have just gone right through them.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been blown.
It would have been fine.
Yeah. Because they even kind of establish a little bit, just from watching it, some of like the physics of how they work a little bit. Like he goes ghost and the car he's in keeps going and leaves him there.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's no gravity or anything.
Plus, they're computer programs like Agent Smith. They can just be reconstituted.
You'd think.
Think so?
And then we meet the architect, right?
Yeah. Well,
okay. Before we get to the architect, we're going to take a break.
Well, we should finish this movie up and then take a break and come back with 3.
Actually, we are coming up on Revolutions. We meet Colonel Sanders' architect.
Well, we do meet Colonel Sanders, but hold on, I have a lot to say about them. So let's take a quick break.
Okay, quick break.
Bucket of
we'll
chicken.
Come back.
All right, well, welcome back.
Schlitz truck.
Shut up. Welcome back to Let's Standard Sequel 2.
We're recording.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we've been recording the whole time.
Nice.
That's why we have our headphones on and we're talking into mics. While you're talking about your Schlitz.
So yeah, we had Colonel Sanders' architect.
Yeah,
right?
well, I'm glad that we took a pause to get back in it, because this is kind of the I think the part of the movie that everyone remembers.
Right, when James Lipton comes in and he asks Neo some awkward questions.
Well, I remember when I first saw this, I had no idea what the fuck he was saying. And then watching it again,
I still don't know.
Yeah, like, because he's saying nothing.
Well, I know I can follow along, I think, better with the it seems like the Wachowski siblings got a thesaurus and then wrote some stuff and then went, all right, well, how can we make this sound like a smart guy? And they just put in as many, like, the more polysyllabic the word, the better it was. But it really doesn't
You're
say.
an anomaly predicated upon the...
predicated upon your butt. But it's gobbledygook. That's like the perfect word for what he says. It's mishmash mouth bullshit that doesn't have any.
It's like Star Trek, like dilithium crystals. Like you're not fucking saying anything.
Oh, it's worse than that. I mean, in Star Trek, at least they would just make up bullshit to fill in plot holes.
Hey,
this just creates.
They have to go to Rigel 7 to get those dilithium crystals.
Yeah,
I know all about those.
But I mean, yeah, it's just. Let's see what. What can we string together to make these 14-year-olds who had to sneak into this? We haven't gotten to that yet.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, what can we to make them think that this guy is really badass? He's really classy. Oh man,
Give him a beard.
A white suit and a white beard,
Yeah.
and have him talk like this. And
so let's see.
Make him Kenny Rogers.
Because I guess they patterned him after
Kenny
Freud.
Rogers.
Freud,
And so I guess I didn't realize how much Sigmund Freud looked like Colonel Sanders. I don't know.
he kind of does.
He's Sanders' PhD in this movie, basically.
Is that you wrote him down your nose as Sanders PhD?
You know, it seemed like a cheap, like that entire scene seemed like a cheap way to make room for a third movie.
Yep.
Like that movie, they really could have wrapped up the whole thing in 2 movies.
Well, yeah.
And they were just like, well, everything that you've done doesn't mean anything, and let's do some more movie.
Well, and then
Because James Lipton.
Well, Neo chooses. He has two doors he can go through. He can go through one that goes to the source. I don't know how he'd fucking physically get there.
Right,
himself.
like he's Wayne Brady. He's like, 2 doors.
What the hell? But James is giving you a stink eye.
He does. Let's make a deal.
Oh, is that a fucking thing?
It's a game show, daytime game show.
Oh, sorry, I have a job.
Wayne Brady. I have a job too, but it involves TV, so I see daytime TV.
Well, he can either go to the source where he will destroy Zion, but he gets to save the human race by like
continuing the cycle,
taking some sister wives with him and like just plowing
You'll
away.
choose 7 men and 16 women.
Like those odds. But or he can go to the other door and he goes to save Trinity, and then Zion will fall. Which I don't know why, but okay. So he chooses.
There's also Zion, to its credit, is very racially diverse. I don't think you would get that from a sample of 25 people or whatever.
Zion is almost entirely, like, even if you're white, you're still pretty brown down in Zion. Like that rave scene, there's
they get
like
crazy tans.
there's like
at the center of the earth.
There's like there was maybe a white guy.
Yeah.
It's Kid's the only one. What are you doing?
Do you think that the Wachowski brothers are trying to insert some kind of like racial,
I think so.
Yeah.
Subtext?
One of them's not doing much inserting anymore.
Uploading.
Yeah.
Instead of downloading.
He's being inserted into.
But I feel like the Wachowskis.
Whatever.
Whatever.
I think the Sibs.
I really wish Ellis Island had spit them back.
The W-Sibs, when I just wish that, well, I think what happened is that when you're watching it, it's garbage, but it's on purpose. Like, everything they do is purposeful. Like,
so?
I think having the agents white and then having it be a lot more diversity.
Oh,
and
sure.
a lot of women. I think they did that on purpose
Yeah.
to make a statement. I just think that, like, they didn't make a shitty movie on purpose, but all the things that you see are there. That's what they wanted. Mm-hmm. And it's for a reason, I think.
And
There's no happenstance, I don't think.
yeah.
Which I think was actually a shitty thing to do on their part.
No, I think anything that seems cool was done on absolute accident.
You think so?
Yeah.
But okay, so he chooses the Trinity door. Mm-hmm. He goes back. She gets shot, and he flies in like Superman.
Oh, and they're like, oh, I've never seen him fly that fast before, except for earlier in this movie when he did the same thing.
He flies at the speed of fucking light, and then he gets there and just saves those two people.
Yeah.
Would have snapped their necks, but that's okay.
Also, like, he totally would have fucking
Killed her.
Yeah.
he would have jellified Trinity when he caught her.
bangs that bullet out of her, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he pulls the bullet out, and what I said kind of a nonchalant resurrection. He just kind of pulls the bullet out, and she's like, "Huh?" He like massages her heart.
He restarts her heart too.
He kickstarts her heart.
And they had to go. They had to go.
Missed opportunity. They should have just. As soon as she woke back up, they just started. Kickstart my heart. Won't you get in there?
They had to go into Matrix vision.
I would have lost my fucking
So
mind
much
if
more.
they like kickstart my heart.
If this movie had like 800% more Motley Crue, it would have been a lot better. So you have shit names like the Nebuchadnezzar, and you have the Hammer, and if you had like the Vince or something.
If they get to the architect and then it's a
or the Anderson or something like that.
If the architect was named like Tommy Lee or something.
It was they cast Tommy.
Like Tommy Lee as the architect.
Yes, but they don't change the script. He has to say all those things.
I think it's at the end of the movie, like Neo or somebody says, "I can't take this anymore." It's like, neither can we. He's speaking directly for the audience.
So yeah, he does. He saves Trinity by flying really fast, and he catches her before she hits the car.
Yeah.
And then he pulls the bullet out in Matrix vision because they probably couldn't figure out the effect in real life.
Well, I don't want to animate all that blood.
Yeah, that would be weird. So, and he massages her heart and
Kickstarts her heart.
And then the part of the movie that I thought was actually pretty fucking awesome, was the very, very end.
Are you talking about when he uses
The Rage Against the Machine.
The cliffhanger.
When he uses the Force to stop those robots in the real world?
He uses his one power to stop the squid monster things from in the real world.
And then he passes out.
Yeah. That was amazing. That entire movie was so disappointing when I was watching it, that at the end that happened, and I was like, fuck, I gotta know what happens next.
I'm with you on that. And I know we actually have, we've talked about this before. James, I know you have a story of getting into seeing The Matrix Reloaded as a little 14-year-old boy.
Yeah, how old would I have been?
You would have been physical born? This is
2003. Yeah, so
14, right?
Yeah, it was 14. Whose parents drive us there, drop us off at the theater, and they won't sell us tickets because they were going to sell to me and my friend, and then one of my buddies, fucking babyface Ian, shows up.
Fucking Ian.
And they're like, hey, yeah, no, we can't give you guys tickets. So we get out. Luckily, whoever's parent, I think, is still there, so we get a ride home, and one of my buddies calls up this other guy who's a little bit older that he hangs out with sometimes, Jeff, who's kind of, I feel bad now. I actually, talking about this story with Kevin offline, I kind of looked him up on Facebook, and it seems like he's doing well now. So a lot of this is me being a douchebag 14-year-old. So, but we used to kind of make fun of him because he has parents' old van, and he kept a sword in the back of it, like a replica Aragorn sword,
and
or something.
You made fun of this
like a broadsword
that he's
a claymore
that he claims. No, just a regular sword.
But not a samurai sword.
No.
Oh yeah, it's just a regular sword.
Just run-of-the-mill sword.
Your everyday sword.
Like a sword that you or I would carry.
Well, no, I believe a claymore is like a two-hander. This is just
that's a large broadsword.
Yeah, a broadsword. Thank you for the...
No problem.
I know what. That's why I dropped claymore. I thought it was big.
Well, you dropped it wrong.
I thought I asked you
it's too big.
Claymore.
It's like
he claimed he killed a chipmunk with it or something. I don't know.
Oh,
a chipmunk with a sword?
Why?
Yeah. That's badass. How did you do that?
Badass.
No, I mean it's cruel and unnecessary, but I mean.
And it was,
swording a chipmunk.
They referred to his car as the BVOD, like the big van of death, because he's a shitty driver.
Oh, yeah. My God. I'm just getting an image of this guy.
And they would, he would drive people around a lot.
Did he have a trench coat?
Because they don't think, he probably at one point
Be part of the trench
coat.
coat.
Seems like a trench coat.
Yeah,
part of the trench coat mafia.
I went to his house one time, and he was playing Final Fantasy XI, which was the online one.
11? Oh,
yeah.
no.
And he had, which I'd been told about but hadn't seen with my own eyes up until this point. In his bedroom, he had a booger wall.
Oh,
so he would sit and then just pick and just put on the wall. And over time, it kind of, they kind of collect and stuff. So we call him up, and I mean, sometimes they would I didn't, but he would drive people around sometimes and then go to this place where you could go play magic cards. Not as in prestidigitation, as in Magic the Gathering.
This story is getting amazing.
and he'd let you use his van where you could go in there and get a hand job from an ugly girl.
Wait.
While you're playing Magic the Gathering?
Wait, let's rewind that a little bit.
Take a tap my mana.
Okay. I just want to draw a distinction between going somewhere to play Magic cards and driving your van somewhere to get a hand job from an ugly girl.
They seem mutually exclusive.
While he was playing Magic, other people could go in his van and do that.
So they would borrow his van, or they would
just in the parking lot.
There would be peripheral ugly girls at the Magic game.
Magic the Gathering girls.
Another acquaintance had a girlfriend that we ragged on for not being that good looking, but
she would give you handies?
I guess jokes on us right after school. I mean, she finished an accelerated nursing program, and was working at, it sounds kind of weird, she was working at like a daycare or something. So she like, you're not being that active because like the other people are caring for it. You just have to be there as like health aid in case the kids need anything. And she was making crazy bank for like a very cushy job.
So this was in high school? Oh, okay.
Like they weren't in the van with her, but I guess you could have looked into it. He would just like onto his hoodie and just wear it.
Oh no.
Oh, I sneezed. The show brought to you by Narragansett Lager. You can hear the deliciousness in his disgusting slurps.
Yeah. I think Handjob Girl's dad was dating one of her friends for a while too.
Oh, this girl sounds amazing.
Yeah.
When did this become like a morning shock jock DJ show?
Jesus, I don't know, but I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, we like tangents.
Whoa!
Yeah. Woo.
We're actually not very good at tangents, so let's...
Oh, so anyways, we call him up, and he drives us out, and we go to the movies with him, because he's like 18, I think, 17 or 18.
Show me
so he could buy...
on the doll where he touched you.
I don't know. I feel like this movie touched me in the butthole in a bad way, but... so he bought the tickets for us when we went in.
Oh, yeah.
And
this guy by himself comes up and asks for 4 tickets.
And watch the movie. And so after we get through with
I'm going
it...
to see it 4 times.
Yeah, after we get through, we're like...
After I get an HJ in my van.
We went through this whole fucking odyssey to see this piece of shit.
I remember actually seeing this. My story is not nearly as long or as good as that one.
I've got a story about this one as well. This movie is right about the time of good stories.
Well, I'll put my shitty story in, and then we'll go to your good story to close out this round of...
I didn't say it was a good story.
You just said you said it was like the round of good stories.
Right, whereas mine was not included.
Oh, God damn it.
I was assuming yours was a good story.
No, I do remember going to see this movie. I remember being very excited for it. I went with my friend Ryan, who you know, Chris, and I know you've met him before too.
Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, Ryan Gosling. We were everybody, as you know, because we're in the same demographic in terms of age, is that The Matrix was a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
And it was super cool.
Yep.
And so Matrix Reloaded is going to be super duper fucking cool.
Oh, yeah.
So we were cruising to the theater, blasting the Matrix soundtrack.
Nice.
So
you know, actually, I still like that song because of the Matrix. Like, when it comes on, I'll listen to it.
I legit like Rob Zombie.
This is the second
that album is good.
We've mentioned Dragula on.
I don't think I ever listened to the whole thing. Is that White Zombie or is it just Rob Zombie?
That's the Rob Zombie solo.
That's his first, yeah.
Living Dead Girl.
Right.
His last album wasn't bad. I'll fucking listen to Rob Zombie anytime.
His movies suck dick.
Yeah.
It's a different podcast. I heard House of a Thousand Corpses was crappy, but I heard Devil's Rejects was good.
No.
Really?
Shit.
Okay. Anyway.
However, the soundtrack's full of Rob Zombie music. Pretty good.
Amazing.
So we were cranking the soundtrack going. We were so excited to see it. Mm-hmm. And then it starts off and it's kind of, okay, all right. Like, there's some slow-mo, that Trinity Fall, where she's... It has the bullet time.
That was cool. That was like right in line with the first movie.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, this is picking up a little bit later. Like some time has passed, and then Agent Smith is back, and then by the time we got to the point where with the schoolyard fight, where all the Agent Smiths come in, I remember openly laughing out loud in the theater when he is spinning around in a circle, and then he
LOL'd?
I did. I LOL'd before. Oh,
You
no.
LO'd?
I
Do you
did.
LMAO?
I LMFAO.
Did you raffle?
I raffle-coptered right through the fucking roof. I spun around.
Like Neo in that scene.
I did. But it was, and then the same thing, and then I just kind of lost, I started losing interest in it. And then at the very end, when he shuts the machines down, I was like, huh? And then it caught me, it was like a C- movie that had like an A ending.
It was an A ending.
And then I was like, oh my God, well now I gotta know, because I think that
the ending was fucking amazing.
I think that came out the beginning of like summer movie season, like in April, and then the next one came out in November of the same year. So now I'm like, oh my God, I gotta see what happens. And that'll segue us to Chris's story right before we tell you what happens in this giant garbage fire that is Matrix
third one is
Revolutions.
the worst.
It's a giant fucking dog turd.
Well, my story is just that I had a girlfriend at the time.
And you guys went to see it. That's
I
great.
was in Denver.
Any hand jobs?
And I was 21 when that movie came
Could
out.
have bought tickets for me.
I could have bought tickets.
You should have
If
flown
I had
back
been
over.
around,
Yeah.
I would have brought my van over and made you and your friends strip naked.
Just
and-
21-year-old Chris
honestly
hanging out with
think-
14-year-old
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah.
I
Just
think
like this
by the
other guy
time
you're
we
talking
got
about.
there weren't enough seats in the van. Like, I think we were just sitting on the floor of the van.
Yeah. Just talking
like
about
10 of
Shaggy
us.
from Scooby-Doo, whoever your friend was. So, yeah, my girlfriend at the time, I think, was 19.
Handle.
Robbing the cradle.
Yeah, so...
Did you buy her booze?
And we were in Denver. We had just moved to
You
Denver.
won't answer.
And, well, yeah, I did. But we just moved to Denver. So me and my two other friends who we lived with, so it was four of us. It was me and my girlfriend and my two friends who were all 21 or older. We used to go out to bars all the time and leave my girlfriend at home because I was like the worst person on the planet when I was 21 years old.
See ya.
Yeah, it would just be like, oh, well, we're going out, so have fun at home.
Yeah, get older or shut up.
Well, that's
We have cable, eat shit.
Well, that's the
basically is what I was saying.
That's weird too, because that only happens when you're 21 and you have someone who's not.
Yeah.
Because if you're in your mid 20s and then if you're in a relationship with anybody and then you're like, I don't really want to go out. I just want to stay home and like watch TV.
Oh, yeah. When both people in the relationship are over 21, if you're like 25 and they're 23,
You get
you're
those
just like,
you get those sleep pants on and you're like,
yeah.
my day is done.
exactly.
Like,
but it's
yeah.
only when you are 21 and
22.
a little bit of 22 where you're like, fuck you, I'm going out.
I can't go with you, Chris.
Right, and she couldn't go with me. And this was like, she had moved with me from here, so she was in Denver.
What a douche!
Yeah, so I would go out and leave her home.
2,000
Oh
miles.
my
with
god,
me.
it was such a fucking dickish thing to do. And it was like,
Why?
she was a huge fan of the first Matrix movie. Like, she loved it. And she was super psyched for it because she was under 21 and couldn't go out to do anything else. So, the first night it came out, it was a Friday, so obviously. So,
Are you setting up the story where you went and saw it without her?
Oh, I wish.
oh, that would be good. This
'Cause
story.
She looks at pictures
Continuing
of your
this
kids
story
and
might-
men's like, they could have been mine. They
Oh,
You got
well, she has her own kids.
could have been yours.
So, yeah, so the first Friday it comes out, and she's been looking forward to it for like months. We decide to,
Did we break Kevin?
yeah,
Oh, I'm back.
we decide to, and by we, I mean me and the two friends that I live with and not her, decide that we would rather go out to the bar instead of going to see The Matrix.
Locked her in the
So
trunk.
we continued to do that for 2 weeks, and I don't mean that we only went out on the weekends. I mean we went out like almost every night instead of going to the movie because I was a huge dick.
I thought you said this wasn't a good story.
I meant like it's a good story, but it's not a story that is.
You're not
good.
you're not endearing
It's
yourself
not-
to the
no,
listener.
I'm not endearing myself to the listener. So
Guys, he has a cardigan on. He's not a bad guy.
finally, 2 weeks later, we go see the movie, and it was a huge disappointment, which I think helped her
Break
Dump
up
you.
with me.
Dump
dump
you.
my ass.
He's like, boy, I was really into
So,
Chris and I saw the Matrix.
I sort of blame this movie a little bit. I blame myself as well, but the movie helped.
You probably
So it
blame
was
the movie
like-
more.
So it was, I blew it off, and so finally,
Whatever. Fuck it.
Is she your Algeria?
Yeah.
huge anticipation and emotional hardship on her part. And then we go and see The Matrix Reloaded. And she hates it. I hate it. And shortly thereafter, maybe a month, 2 months after, she leaves me for a dude she meets on the on Xbox Live.
Nice. Playing Matrix Online. Yeah.
You should have part of that Matrix game.
She moves. I'm pretty sure she hated The Matrix Reloaded so much that she moved to Houston, Texas.
Well, I think that probably we can end our Matrix Reloaded portion of this episode right now. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back fresh and chipper with Matrix Revolutions. So you're listening to Less Than or Sequel To. So the Matrix Revolutions started.
Anyway, Matrix Revolutions.
Neo's in the Matrix, where he's not really he's in the bus, like the train station.
So
Where
just
Peter
to,
Parker's dad's hideout is.
yeah, just to recap, at the end of the last movie, they're in the real world, and he pulls some Jedi bullshit and falls into a coma. While he's in his coma, he's without being plugged into anything. He's in the Matrix.
Yep. He's in it's like a holding station for the Matrix.
Neo has Wi-Fi.
Hey guys, all those rules that we established the first two movies, they don't matter.
Well, yeah,
Anything
because
you think matters doesn't matter. This is pointless. Life is pointless.
because at some point later he's laying on a slab, like where he's left. He's got him and
Burn. Oh yeah, speaking of that, in the last movie, when they pan up, when it's Neo on the slab, and they pan up to Bane on the slab as well, I had no fucking clue who that was.
It was Bane.
Yes, I realized later that it was Bane, but when I watched the movie for the first time,
I broke you.
I had no idea that it was Bane. I just thought it was like some dude. I was just like, what the fuck?
Well, so you said the ending was like, oh man, you're like, oh, it's a guy.
Yeah, because
It's a
it had been an hour since we saw that guy.
He was like cutting himself, being a weirdo.
Yeah, and he was going to stab Neo, and then he didn't for some reason.
And then Kid rolled up. Neo!
He still could have stabbed Neo to death.
My name's Kid.
Like, was Agent
I'm a
Smith...
young goat.
Agent Smith clearly was not, like, trapped in that guy. Like, that wasn't his 100%. So he could have just, like, used that guy to kill him, even with people around.
Yeah, like, why
didn't he just stab him to death?
Why he could
It would have been a better movie.
He doesn't matter if he dies or not.
Right. Because there would still be an Agent Smith.
It was really weird because the woman who played the Oracle in the first two movies died before this, like during the filming.
Oh, really?
Well, because you notice it's
Yeah.
a different fucking actress playing the Oracle in the third one, right? Well, she
it
dies.
gets a little meta with it.
Well,
they should have just ignored it.
They should have said once, like, it's like, what happened? And then she goes, oh, well, I was fucking around, so they changed some programming.
Yeah.
But instead, they keep fucking talking about it. They keep driving
version
like,
1.2, honey.
oh, it's not Fish Mooney. Yeah. But they keep talking. Everyone's always talking about, did you see what I did to the Oracle? I don't know why the French Merovingian is now like, what? The Merovingian is now fucking Rafe Fiennes.
Yeah, hair Merovingian.
Yeah. So I saw the Oracle today.
The Oracle.
I revolt her strudel. That was a little weird. But anyway, so
moving on.
So Neo's stuck in this train station with some Indian people. So also we find out that programs can get married, and that programs somehow
bone.
And they can bone, and programs have baby programs. So when it comes out, and this is my daughter Sati, and then Sati comes out. And she has a program, but I don't know what she does. Apparently we find out at the very end, spoiler alert, she makes fucking
shitty cookies.
She makes shitty cookies and she makes fucking weird Bob Ross sunrises. That's about it. But Neo's in this like holding station, and I don't get, so programs come in and out of the Matrix, like instead of being deleted, they can get smuggled back into the Matrix by the Merovingian?
I think it's the island from Lost, and they're in purgatory.
So this makes no sense whatsoever as far as computer programs go. Like in the first movie, it sort of made sense, and it's just made less and less sense as these movies have gone on.
And then they keep in this one they drop the L word a lot. Like I love her. No, I love Trinity. I have to get back to her.
Love is just a word.
Yeah,
it's just a word that conveys.
Because I keep writing down love.
Well, they even ruin
up in my notes a lot. Yeah.
Like the bullshit Jesus story that they're doing.
Yeah,
like they lose the track
bullshit.
on that too.
If the word in the second movie is choice, And the first two, they're talking about, I have a choice. This one is, I love Trinity. I love Trinity. You are in love, I can tell. So the Train Man is also, he's from the Mad Max sequels. He's the guy in the second one who flies, or one of them, he flies he's got the flying machine.
Oh, right, yeah, right. Yeah, the gyrocopter.
It's not Bruce Dern. Is it Bruce Dern?
That's not Bruce Dern.
He looks fucking gross. He looks really gross.
He was also the mouth.
I don't think it's makeup. I think it's a real man who's had a rough life.
He was also the mouth of Sauron.
He was the mouth of Sauron in the scene that was cut.
With his gross teeth.
Which was an awesome scene, too.
It was.
Yeah.
That's from
so great they kept it in, right?
That's actually from that's part of the canon. The mouth of Sauron actually does come up and throw the mithril.
Definitely there.
He throws Sting and the mithril coat out and is proof that Frodo is dead.
Oh, yeah. When are we going to do those shitty sequels?
You can shut the fuck up.
We're ever doing those.
We don't have to, because they're the best things.
Everyone knows how bad they are?
No.
We could do all 3 Hobbit movies.
No.
Do you see people are working on fan edits of
Hobbit?
Of just getting it tighter.
Just some rejuvenation on that.
Yeah.
A fan edit would be good. Sorry for the yawn.
This movie
Don't
is just
be so into this. Huh?
I'm sorry. We're the
That's all right. We're just trying to make some fucking content for people to consume, but no big deal.
And I absolutely fucking hate this movie.
It was a fucking bummer watching this.
Yeah,
I checked.
I watched it last night, and I don't remember a goddamn thing. I'm hoping that my fellows here will prompt me to say something funny.
I think the next scene is the coat check gimps.
Oh, I do have coat check time written as the next one, but I have to also let you know, since my fiance did note, and I have to credit her with this. Of course, the programs are Indian, but the coat check time comes in. This is when they go. Okay, this is a weird. Every time, every Matrix has to have some type of weird fucking party. Mm-hmm. The first one is and then there's the rave cave, and this time they go to a weird fucking medieval sex club. James doing a little dance right now where he's getting fucking into it.
Yeah,
he's getting medieval sex club.
He's breaking it down, but they why there's a guy with a gimp outfit with a hood that had spikes coming out of it, and everyone's wearing these weird leather battle harnesses that show
nips.
Show just nips, just in case you want to tweak those tweeters a little bit.
Yeah, and then she name checks love again after beating them up
because it's love. Because she's in love, she'll kill everyone in here because she's in love. Whatever. Yeah, coat check time was weird. I like the it started off again, it had some cool Matrix things. When this does Matrix quote unquote stuff, as I do air quotes, when it does Matrixy things, it's kind of
air quotes right now.
Right now, it's kind of cool. Like when they start shooting, they blast a couple people, but some people jump up onto the ceiling and run away.
Yeah.
That was a cool looking scene. I was like, whoa, what's going on? I don't know how that would be a tactical advantage in a gunfight.
You should have shot even worse.
So you could have just moved 2 inches to the left behind the pillar, but you decided to jump up on the ceiling. But it looked dope.
At least it was kind of visually interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
But that looked cool. And then I said, what the fuck is up with this club? Are these programs or just freaks? Are these all programs that are hanging out with the Merovingian? Or are some of them people in the Matrix who are just freaky sex fiends?
Well, it's got to be both, right?
Yeah.
I mean, why would the programs just have a party?
It's not like vampires just have clubs where they just hang out.
A vampire weekend.
If you're a program, couldn't you just have it programmed in that you just had the party? Do you really have to have the party if you're a computer program?
Who the fuck knows?
Why does it have to be a thing that happens? Couldn't it just be
because
a thing that has happened?
Well, it seems like the Merovingian at least is really just kind of bored, and the Merovingians.
Yeah, but why? He's a computer program.
The big titted wife of the Merovingian is also
just
super
exit
bored
for a while.
Why would he be bored? He has one fucking job.
He doesn't even have a job. He does whatever he wants.
Yeah, so why does he exist?
And then sometimes he programs other programs to give him BJs.
And sometimes he programs people in the Matrix to just have gushing orgasms when they eat cake. And it did look like a red velvet cake.
That would be great, though. I mean,
if I had a cake, and
you just a lot of cake.
Just fill your pants in the front and back.
After that scene, I think there's a 45-minute gap in my notes because nothing important happened.
I took at least a 90-minute break. I don't have many more.
Because, we go from coat check gimps to blind mummy walk.
I got some things in between blind mummy walk. So Agent Smith is going. I also had to ask too about this claim. Everybody looks like Cenobites.
I'm fine with it.
Yes, because I'm in this movie as well. So Agent Smith is absorbing like the entire Matrix. He's copying and taking over everybody in the Matrix.
Omnipotent.
So he absorbs the Oracle in that scene where she knows he's coming, and then he has that weird like, why did you put those cookies there if you knew I was going to do that? That means you've done it purposefully or whatever. And he has that weird like thing, and then he
kind of has a meltdown. Yeah.
Well, he absorbs her, and then he's like freaked out, and then
he makes crazy eyes.
He takes it off, and then the Agent Smith who did the absorbing,
it's kind of scared.
He's scared, and he bounces back from the Smith Oracle amalgam, and then the Smith Oracle takes off the glasses and he just goes.
Oh yeah,
and it has this weird like psychotic break, and then it cuts and it's gone. What the fuck happened? I can't.
That
get
should have been the end of the trilogy.
Well, where's
right there?
Well, like
credits.
Which Agent Smith does Neo fight at the end? The scared Agent Smith or the creepy one? And why are all the other Agent Smiths just chilling? He's got like
because he told him to.
He's got 7 billion Agent Smiths. They can all just jump on him and take a dump and be dead. I thought it was lame too when as you put it, when Nairobi shows up.
Yeah,
and she says, "Hey, don't worry, we just need a jump." Like those ships are like a car, and you can just hook up the jumper cables.
Yeah,
and then just and then you're back up and running. And these giant fucking ships that have these weird like magnetic fields that make them move around. You just go, just get some jumper cables out. At this point, we really can't go linear, because I know we all stopped.
I know, Zion gets attacked.
Zion gets attacked
basically like
4 hours straight.
You're watching someone else play a video game, and it's just a bunch of different levels. Like, okay, these stupid squids are going to keep spawning until you until you accomplish this like task. Like, you have 3 tasks you have to do before you can move on to the next fight. The next level.
Yeah.
And so you've got Baby Marvin Gaye and her partner are bazookaing. Who cares?
I'm just going to run through what I have, then you can run through you.
Yeah.
I said, this guy's doing a bad Agent Smith because and keeps doing the Mr. Anderson, and it's dumb as hell. And I said, oh hey, by the way, Neo is Jesus, just in case we're not clear on it.
I don't know. I think they sort of lost that thread.
Oh, you mean when he literally is crucified at the end of the movie on a cross of light?
Aside from that,
when Brian and Neo are having he has Trinity with the knife to the neck or whatever. How the fuck does it take Neo so long to figure out that Agent Smith is in this guy's body? It takes him until he says, "I'm Agent fucking Smith," right in his face. He's, what are you talking about? You've gone insane. He calls him Mr. fucking Anderson. No one in this world calls him that. I don't even think they know his last goddamn name.
They don't know who he is.
And then he doesn't say, "Hey Neo."
That's his slave name.
Your name is Toby Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
But it seems like it becomes awkward after a while, because that scene goes on for a while and he has no idea. I thought that was weird. And I also wrote, "Get those eyes fried, homeboy."
Yeah.
When he's fighting the Agent Smith, and then Baron grabs this like this giant live wire that's like 6 inches in diameter and jams it directly into his fucking eyeballs.
Cauterizes his eyeballs like off.
He does. He closes his fucking eyes.
Yeah.
And then somehow that allows Neo to see Agent Smith with like his second sight.
Well, now he can see like he's in Matrix vision.
Yeah. Why?
In real life.
James, do you have any input in that as to why the fuck that happens?
No, I don't. The Wachowskis didn't think any of this through. They don't care about the movie. They don't care about the viewers. They don't care about logic.
If they took the end of the second movie when he realized that he had like the Force in real life, and they just made the third movie him just jumping around,
housing
fucking shit up and like making explosions happen
in the real world instead of the Matrix.
In the real world,
yeah.
That would have been fine.
If they had, which there are like some like different fan theories, how these movies have fans is beyond me. There's
Fan theories?
the real, like, what they should have done is have like an Inception style fade out and it's just a second layer. You dummies are all still here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
you're
what
always going to be
back
here.
and you're still in the Matrix.
That's what we were all talking
there's like,
about.
There's like green layer and then there's yellow layer.
Yeah, that's what we were all talking about.
Because when
at the
he's
end of the
blind, he
second
sees everything
movie.
as like shitty yellow.
But we were talking about that at the end of the second movie. When that happened, we were thinking, well, maybe it's still the Matrix.
There's a whole nother.
But no, it's just stupid.
There's a whole nother thing that's going on at the same time that Neo's doing all of his boring, dumb shit, and that's the big old battle for Zion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Which is
Why don't those suits have any protection for the pilots? It's like going up in like an F-22 and like just leave the cockpit glass off.
well, I wrote James Cameron robots lulls,
Yep.
and because they're just exactly like the things from Aliens, and then
I mean
Avatar. was from-
Avatar. Yeah.
yep.
well, yeah, but they're based on the fucking thing from Aliens.
Yeah.
But and then the robot
James Cameron.
when they all cheer, and then all the robots go, "Ah!" and they all like
Yeah.
fucking raise their guns. I'm like, what is going on with this bullshit? And they're all for Zion. They're all raving that shit around.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, and
And who cares about the kid or the captain guy? Like, they're never really introduced
nobody
or...
cares.
Well, you mean Kid?
Yeah.
Capital K Kid?
Yeah.
And then Boba Fett or Jango Fett?
Yeah.
Oh, he's the guy who has the weirdest screams every time. Because he's got... At some point when all these robots come in and they have the big spiral, like, diggers that come out like poops, they pop through the game and they just go... bloop, and then they plop down and they shoot all those little bugs.
Poopies.
Yeah, the little poopy little poop splatters all over the place. And the guy's in the thing going dun, 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 with all his machine guns, and he's just going, oh, the entire fucking. And then at one point, I remember watching this. I didn't see this in the theaters, but I watched it on DVD.
VHS.
I watched it on Betamax.
Oh, shit, Laserdisc.
But that's when I remember bursting out laughing because he's going, oh, and then he runs out of breath and he goes, oh.
It's like Rambo 3.
Yeah, he just has to keep doing it. He just fucking go, and then all the machines get to him and they fucking got him to ribbons. They just
That was rewarding. Yeah.
But then he shouldn't have like any. He shouldn't be anything left.
Yeah.
And then he's just got like two big gouges, and he tells
He should
Kid,
just be bones.
he should be they should have ripped his fucking head off.
Yeah.
And,
You know, it's like the Matrix movies are like a reboot of the New Testament, except
if church was like that, I probably would have gone more.
it's
than Kid.
even worse.
Yeah.
It's even worse than the New Testament. It makes less sense somehow.
And then, yeah, Kid still has a giant Neo bone. He's like, Neo. Like, he gets in the suit.
He's got a neo
And-
femur.
Fuck the council. They're still like, we're still just dressed super fly, sitting
we're
in our
not-
room.
we're not
we
totally
are in
sure
no
about this yet.
danger.
They're like the current Congress. It's like they're not really listening to what's going on.
Yep.
Oh, everyone's struggling. Well, just pay us $500,000 a year and call it good.
Oh, we're just Neo's is like the guy's trying to talk about the defenses. Like this is down. And they're like, or whatever it is, whatever ship he took. They're like, are you? And the guy admitted, and he makes the military leader makes fucking sense. He goes, "Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like robots are knocking on the back fucking door, and nobody's, and there's faith in the one."
I did have a note where all of this could make sense. Is if we flash back to the beginning of the first movie, and the whole thing is just a bad trip